All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm ready to go. I'm going to talk about my little vacation trip. We're going to talk a little bit about content coming in 2020. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the recent news in the game, although there's not much there, to be honest with you. And Ranger is not going to make it again this evening. He is doing some technical work on his computer tonight, so he's not going to be around. But we do have the wonderful co-host of mine, good old Maurice. How you doing, my friend? He's not going to be on camera tonight, but he's here with us orally or verbally.
Were you about to say my love?
No, I was not going to say my love. I mean, although I will if you want me to.
I love. I'm doing great.
I'll call you love. Listen, if I was an Englishman, that would be totally acceptable. I was like, hello, love. Let's go. I mean,
doing much better than I'm Ramon's love this evening.
I mean, if I was like Australian, I could call you like. Actually, no, I can't say that. But you know, I mean, there's things you could say when you're from other countries, and it's totally acceptable. Like I had a friend named Simon from England, and he used to say, oh, what he used to say all the time. He used to say, all right, mate. You know, like he'd say, mate, you know, all the time, mate. And I started to say mate too. And I'm like, I can't do that. I mean, you know, from New York, you can't say mate. You just can't call somebody a mate. You know, it doesn't work, you know. But I like that word. I like mate. But I can't use it because of my accent. And also the lovely and beautiful and talented queen of the Northwest, Avinash.
Good evening, everyone.
Sorry. So I went to Chicago. I was briefly talking about my trip with Maurice and Avi before we got on the stream. So essentially, I went on Tuesday night. We left for Chi-Town, and we drove straight through to this town called Woodstock, which is a little bit north of Chicago, north and west of Chicago. And Woodstock is where they filmed the movie Groundhog Day, right? So the scene in the town square, the actual whole town square, the diner, the building where Bill Murray jumps off of and commits suicide, and all of that, the actual bed and breakfast that he sleeps at and stays at. I stayed at that bed and breakfast and slept in the room that Bill Murray slept in every day when he woke up on Groundhog Day. And I was able to like look out that window every morning that he looked out and saw like it was still the same day every single day. And they have all this memorabilia from the movie in the house. Like, so I took pictures. They have like this like shrine that has the actual alarm clock from the movie and everything. It's really awesome. And you know, it's a great spot too. The house is gorgeous house. Obviously there was some movie stuff. I mean, they, you know, filmed certain scenes at the house, then certain scenes on a set in Hollywood. So not everything matches exactly, but it's fantastic. And the house is huge. It's gorgeous. It's got like an old style. The property is tremendous. And the breakfast there was phenomenal. She made these potato and corned beef waffles. Like she like combined it into.
Like it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, would I lose it? Would I lost the stream?
Yeah. Well, we lost you. I'm not sure if it lost the stream, but we lost you.
The stream went down and it's still saying 0. So hopefully that doesn't continue. But we'll see here. Not looking good.
Oh.
Not looking good at all. Yeah, this is not coming back. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. So sorry guys, we had a little bit of technical issues there. Hopefully we're back now and everything's good to go. But how many days did they repeat? Did they repeat? No, it was fortunately just one day, but it was great. but every day is Groundhog's Day in Woodstock. You'll find that out when you go there. So it's like, you know, everything about the town, that's like their one big claim to fame, right? So everywhere you go, they have like, you know, groundhog stuffed animals, and they have like, you know, they have like little plaques in the town where Bill Murray did things. Like, you know, you have the spot where he stepped in the puddle in the floor, like you can literally step right there. They have the scene where he crashed the car. Like I said, there's a building where he commits suicide when he jumps off. That's literally in the square. The scene where he goes to rob the bank, and he's sitting there on the park, like waiting for the guy to leave the bag of money on the side of the truck so he can walk over and grab the money. He's like, oh, gust of wind, dog barks in the distance. And like he just walks, you know, because he's done it a million times. I love that movie. So it was great. It was a really cool experience to go see all the different scenes from the movie. But really, honestly, like I said, the breakfast at the house looked phenomenal. The house was gorgeous. The breakfast was great. Then we spent the next day in this little town called Galena, and I stayed in this like, it was also a bed and breakfast, but it was almost like a little castle, like a little bit further out of the town, and it had like an overview from our room of the Mississippi River. And we were able to sit there, and they made this fantastic breakfast. I ordered room service. I had beef Wellington sent to the room at night. It was like a personal little beef Wellington with a filet mignon in the middle. It was absolutely phenomenal, you know. And then we did a little walking around town. The town is like this old school town, like still kind of preserved in like the look of the 1800s. So it has all these old school architecture and castles. Like the second you walk in the town, it looks kind of like Alexandria from The Walking Dead, right? Where it's just like got like a gate that you go in when you come into the town, almost like, you know, like they fortify the town for like an apocalypse, you know. But it's a gorgeous town, lots of great places to eat. So we stayed there for a night, and then we went down to Chicago, and we actually spent the night in a hotel overviewing the river in Chicago and Lake Michigan. And we had, we had Chicago deep dish pizza, Giordano's, and that was phenomenal. And then we took a boat tour the next day and went through the river and saw the city on the boat. Got some hot dogs from Chicago, some Chicago dogs. And then we took the car out of the hotel, and we drove up to Wisconsin, and we grabbed some cheese curds from Wisconsin. We didn't stay in Wisconsin. We just kind of drove through Wisconsin, grabbed some cheese curds from 2 different spots, and then we drove back. Took some pictures of the city, Milwaukee, and then we drove back to New York and just got back. We stopped on the way back. We actually stopped in the real Punxsutawney and took pictures of the Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog from the movie Groundhog. So on the way back in Pennsylvania is the real town of Punxsutawney, which is much smaller and totally underwhelming, by the way. But we went to the actual stage where they do the groundhog every year, and then we went to the little, it's called Phil's Burrow or whatever. It's like a little spot right by the police station in town where they have a glass, and you could see the little habitat where they keep Punxsutawney Phil, and he's like in there like all nestled up, and like it was pretty cool. I got some pictures, and yeah, it was fantastic. It was a great trip. We had great food. We stopped at the Kevin McAllister house, the house from Home Alone in Chicago. It's right out of Chicago. That neighborhood where they filmed that house where they filmed the outside of the house for Home Alone. That house is there. Also, the church he goes to is there. So we took pictures of that. We went to a lot of different spots, saw a lot of different sites. Had a lot of great food. It was a fantastic vacation, and I'm glad I did it. So I'm back now. I got back a few hours ago. Did a little bit of cardio, took a shower, and I was able to get on here with you guys now. So, I had a great time. I should have had some slides set up so I could show you guys pictures and stuff, but another time. Anyway, so I wanted to dive into some conversation. Milwaukee's a shithole, I guess. I mean, listen, if you're not from coming from New York, no other city really like in my opinion, is matches up to that. You know what I'm saying? So I love New York, and I you know, I'm from New York, and you know, honestly, I think there's, it's really, it's tough to go anywhere else and see the same kind of thing. But Milwaukee's got its beautiful sights too. So does Chicago's gorgeous. And then there's like, you know, and that's part of the country that you know, all those little towns, they have like these little historic towns with old buildings and churches, and the architecture there is phenomenal. And the you know, the town of Woodstock, for example, has like an actual square, like a town square, right? So like it's like 4 blocks that literally touch each other. And it's insane. It's like everything you've ever seen in like a movie from an old town. You know, we don't have that in where I'm from. You know, where I'm from, it's, you know, even in Long Island, the suburban area is still kind of like a little bit like a city. You know, it's not really like that. Like that's like, you know, the stuff I see, like, you know, like from McDonald's neighborhoods and commercials and stuff like that when I was a kid. You don't really get that in real life. So seeing a town like that and being able to stay there for a night, I mean, it was great. Like at night, like, you know, we were having some drinks at the hotel or the bed and breakfast we were staying at, and then we just took a walk around the town, and all the houses are decorated for Halloween and everything, and it's got this like this little town. It was beautiful. It was great to walk around and have a great time. Thanks, Chase. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, and you know, I'm a big fan of just going around and checking out different things. And San Diego is a beautiful city too. I would love to go see San Diego. I've been to almost every other city in California except San Diego. I've been to LA. I've been to Oakland. I've been to San Francisco. I've been up north to you know, I've driven down the Pacific Coast Highway. You know, so I've been all over California, just not in San Diego actually. But I'd love to go there. Anyway, so let's dive into a little Star Wars. So I know, you know, Abby and Maurice have to be sitting there like what the F is this guy doing right now? He's just talking about a vacation. I don't even know what to say.
I took a short nap.
It's okay. We'll move on. But no, it was a great time. So first and foremost, let's discuss what we do know. Okay, so there's been an issue with light side territory battles loading on Phase 4. So they're aware of that. They made a post about that today, and I guess they're making updates to that. Have you guys had any issues with your light side TV? Are you guys getting frozen?
Yes. I'm just really pissed because I know it cost us a star with that. So and I've had it happen on all 6 of the accounts.
You know what they should do, right? We should give everybody max stars rewards for 1 TB.
Yep.
Max stars rewards. It's your problem, not my problem. That's a CG problem, not a me problem.
Or they could just get rid of TB. That would be ideal.
We could just get rid of territory battle altogether. Just give us the rewards and let us not have to do the work.
Give us the rewards. Just say opt out, get the rewards, and we're done for the week.
Let us just sim TB.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
We should be able to sim one of the DBs by now. Come on, the Hoth TB. We should be able to sim that. Come on, guys.
Oh man, I'm doing a Hoth TV, and it's like night and day. It's like I sneeze and I'm done.
This one's cool because 25 people in the guild finished their cam, so we're getting the first look at that special mission. I think it's like the first time. I think there's a couple, maybe 3 guilds that have him now. So this is the first time anyone's really ever done that special mission in P4. So it's kind of exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing some videos on that.
The Nexu?
Yeah.
The Nexu? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We tried it last time and not doing it this time.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to get Cam in there and try him out.
Yeah. Another thing I mean, obviously they said the dev tracker's back, but Galactic Challenge cadence. So they said that for now the Galactic Challenges will occur on the weekends. Obviously not the news we were hoping for, but the team is working on ways to increase the cadence of the GCs. That sounds nebulous, but there's
working on ways to increase.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, this is what they're saying. They're saying it's some complicated stuff that involves the tool used to create the events. So,
Oh, bullshit. Sorry.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
It's God, man. It's like it's the only way, it's the only way we can get some stuff, including the new mats for the new mods. And it's like, oh, we're only going to give it to you on the weekend because we're going to stretch it out as far as we can so we can screw you over as much as we possibly can so that you'll be begging by the time we put packs out. You're going to spend a fortune and we're going to go up in our stocks and price. Oh, Jesus. Sorry.
Boy, trigger boy, Abby got triggered.
Abby is really upset about this stupid tool that they use to make events. This tool needs to get out of here.
Honestly, they're full of crap. They really are, because they do whatever they want to do. The thing is that they're just not willing to do it, and they're making up excuses, is what they're doing.
Yeah. Let me just say hi to a few people.
Yeah, they're just making excuses.
Sorian, what's going on? What's going on? Abner, what's up? Carlos, Billy Gunn, what's going on? Jasa, how are you? Did you just say slides? Hilarious. Yeah. San Diego. Yeah. So Mike Yanch, what's up? Mix, what's going on? JVU, how are you? Thane. I think that's everybody. How you guys doing? I hope everybody's all right. Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of agree with Avi. I don't know why they would have an issue with the tool, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it seems like that would be a problem that they've had always. Because I mean, the tool that they used to create events, remember that problem they had with that event where it just kept what was that event? Was it the Malik event that they had to reset like 3 times? Like, which one was that one?
I think it was the Malik. Yeah, it was the Malik one because they kept screwing up. They can't find their ass from a hole in the ground.
Oh,
it's like derp.
Abby is giving it to CG tonight. She is just leaving it all on the table tonight. she is not happy, guys. Abby, it takes a lot to get ruffle her feathers, and she is at max ruffleage right now.
Really, yeah. My frustration with CG and the territory battles and stuff is, I'm at a peak at this point because I know they've been screwing around and tweaking the background of the light side territory battles, and so I don't know what they're doing, but it's just really, really frustrating.
Oh no. It happened again.
All right.
Oh no, it happened again for a second, but we're back. So yeah, no, I understand it's really frustrating. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand it's really frustrating. But yeah, I mean, listen, the one thing I will say is at least they're coming out and saying, like, listen, we don't have an answer. And we're going to tell you that we don't have an answer. I somewhat appreciate that because at the end of the day, even though it's not cool and it's not great and they should have this figured out, and I mean, obviously, if they're requiring, you to do galactic challenges to cut the new mods, etc., the cadence has to increase. So I understand the frustration there, but in the past, they would just kind of chalk it up to, well, we'll let you know more when we know more, and that's it. At least they're taking an effort here to say, hey, for now, it's going to work on the weekends. Obviously, we know you don't like that, but there's a reason why it's more complicated than just we don't want to do it. And, I like I said, I think that communication-wise, that's better than we've seen in the past, if that makes any sense.
Well, at least my anger won't be in an assumption.
Yeah.
It'll be a fact. It's just, they just need to get their finger out of their ass is what they need to do.
Whoop, whoop. What's this support for legacy iOS devices?
Basically, if you've got like an iPhone 5, you can't play the game anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah. So you have to use an emulator, basically.
That's a pretty old phone.
Yeah, I've got an iOS 6. I don't even play the game on my phone, so I just play it on my computer, my PC.
I mean, the iPhone 5 is like, we're talking, man. You know what I'm saying? That's an old phone. You know?
Well, mine
I had an iPhone
will be the next
5.
one, deal.
It turned it in like, a year and a half or so ago because it was running so poorly. It just couldn't keep up with the games. It wasn't. I mean, the games would work on it. Just you could tell, the games were
Chugging.
yeah, not keeping on. The phone can't keep up with them anymore. So I mean, that was a year and a half ago. It was old then. So I mean,
so everybody,
you get the emulator. I mean, if you guys have an iPhone 5, you do have an emulator. You can play on your tablet. I think not 100%, but I feel like they've opened the Facebook linking thing back up. I feel like I read that somewhere. I could be way wrong.
It is open now. So, but the problem is that when people like want to transfer their account, if they don't want to tie it to their personal account, they can't make a new account, or you have to go. Or I don't know how you. It's just dumb how they're doing it now, because Facebook is saying, "Oh, you want another account? No, we're going to immediately ban it." And then you have to go through this review process, but we're not going to allow you to go through the whole review process to finish it up to create that account, because it breaks our terms of service of having more than one account.
I mean, yeah, it sucks in terms of like not being able to play multiple accounts of Star Wars, but it doesn't suck in terms of like keeping off the creepers on Facebook, making up fake,
Yeah,
like
That's true. I mean, I understand, but I think that honestly, CG needs to find some other way instead of using a Facebook link. I don't know why the hell they thought of something dumb like that to do, because there are people before they used Facebook that had multiple accounts. And so by doing that, and if you want to move it from your phone to your computer or vice versa, or you got a new phone, you got to do it. If sometimes you have to use the Facebook to be able to do it.
honestly, I don't see why you should have to deal with that. I mean, listen, if you bought content in this game, like I bought characters and shards and things like that, I own that content, and I should be able to sell that to whoever I want to. Okay, so if I decide I want to sell it to somebody, I understand it's against the terms of service, but at the end of the day, that's my stuff. I purchased it, right? Like if I buy, Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, I could just sell that to whoever I want to because it belongs to me, right? And I legally can just give that to somebody else, and they can give me $20, and that's fine, right? But with this digital content, they're just trying to avoid people, basically, they don't want they want new players to have to spend full price. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, so that's they don't want anybody to get a head start, or anybody to make money off a previous investment, and that kind of sucks, But I don't know. I just think that there should be an easier way than this to deal with the accounts in the first place. Because to be honest with you, it shouldn't have to be tied to my Google account at the end of the day. Like if I want to rip that apart and just give it to somebody else, I should be able to just pass it to another Google account in a legit manner where like CG knows that I'm doing this. Like listen, I give this guy authority to take my account, and you could put it under his name.
Yeah.
Abner, don't ask that question. Don't ask that question. All right, come on, man. No, I don't have a Galactic Legend yet. Jesus Christ. All right, but I'm close. I'm very close. All right, I'm very close. It's embarrassing. I should. How many do you guys have? Like 4 right now? Do you guys have 3?
I have 3.
I got 3.
Son of a bitch. But
We love you too.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got 3 just because I totally lucked out for Luke. I had damn near everything for Luke. Like, just needed some relics.
Yeah, I didn't have much. I just had to get Mon Mothma up there.
Kylo will be mine soon, and I'm excited about it because Kylo's awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. After, so Oh, congrats to Cheeky, by the way. Also, Cheeky Cutie just received some award. She probably won't even hear this or ever know, but just because I'm that kind of guy, let me just look up this. She used to be a co-host on this show, so I'm just going to mention it. She was admitted to the role of barristers and solicitors of the High Court in New Zealand. So that's a pretty awesome thing. Congratulations to her. Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. And hopefully she's doing well. But, all right, so let's move on to the topic of the day, which is content for 2020. So, obviously we have the Galactic Challenges. Everybody's, really thrilled about that. And we think it's wonderful, wonderful, creative, in-depth, very, very awesome and fresh new content. Okay? But for those of us that live in the real world and actually want real new content, we're hoping that they're going to come out with this raid that they promised us last year, or they're going to come out with some other event, maybe something, geared around ships, so we can actually do something with these ships. I don't know. But they revamped ships, never did anything with it. They told us they were coming out with a new raid, then said that they postponed that indefinitely. They told us that we were going to be getting abilities with these relics, and then they said that they're going to hold off on that. What are we actually going to get this year? Because the only thing that we have gotten this year is Galactic Challenges, and that is basically like a reskin of an event. That's not really new content. Let's be real here, okay? It's just, yes, they obviously tied it into, being necessary because you need the resources from there to slice 6A mods. But I don't know. I feel like, we're, coming into the heart of October here. We're talking, Halloween in 2 weeks. Okay, so that means we really only have 60 days after that. Before the end of 2020. We don't have a movie coming up this year. We are going to have The Mandalorian coming out, so I'm sure they'll try to pump out some new characters and marquees to make some extra money. But are we getting any actual content? Like, are we going to get a new game mode before the end of 2020? Thoughts, guys? What do you think?
Not by the end of 2020, no.
Okay.
I think this is pretty much it. They'll kind of polish up the Galactic Challenges, fix the cadence, kind of decide what they want to do with that long term, and then probably move on to the next. So,
yep.
I think you're pretty much for the year, but the year's only a couple months left. So, we could be getting new characters. I don't think we're getting like events, legendaries. We just got the Galactic Legends. I don't think there's gonna be any sort of new stuff.
Billy Gunn, we'll ask that. We'll answer that question in the Q&A segment in a few minutes. So you think we're gonna get characters from The Mandalorian? Obviously,
you could get characters from Mandalorian or just in general. Could be done. I might get a couple more like Return of the Jedi type of original trilogy characters. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a rework or something. But I don't think we're gonna get like new stuff.
Okay, so you don't think there's going to be a new game? You don't think the raid is coming anytime soon?
No. Not in the next 2 months, no. Next year, perhaps.
Yeah.
Is that really acceptable, though? I get it, like, we have no choice, right? Like, it is what it is. But I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's like, it's been an entire year. And we're talking about, that's just since they told us that they were going to do the raid, right? They told us, like, towards the end of last year that a raid was coming.
Yeah, we haven't had a new raid in almost 3 years.
The Sith raid. I was there to drop the raid in California. I was. I remember.
I remember.
Three years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago. That's when we got. When they dropped the news about Scion and Treya and Visas. And then we got Nihilus. That's right around the time we got Nihilus.
God, it's hard to believe some of those characters have been out that long. And it's kind of hard to believe that the Sith Raid's been out that long, but yes, it has. And there's been nothing new since.
That's my problem, Tom. Yeah, I agree with you. They count Galactic Challenges, but I don't count Galactic Challenges. That is not new content. That is not... Now, I understand that, okay, the content that comes out is going to be similar, right? Like, of course, it's going to be like 5v5 content. I get that, and that's fine, okay? I can get 5v5 content. But there's a million creative ways that you can come up with to make an interesting 5v5 event or a new table. Or, I mean, honestly, I would take at this point even like an expansion of existing content. Like maybe they do something different to Galactic War, or, add new levels to the Cantina table. Or, I would take a level cap increase at this point. I don't think we're ever getting a level cap increase. I think that's never going to happen at this point. Do you guys think we're going to be at 85 forever?
Well, we have been at 85 forever.
I think they're done. I think they're done.
I think we're at that. I don't. Is it possible? Yes, but I think it'll just progress your characters in different ways. Higher relic level.
That would be a lot of work for them to, if they raise the cap. I think it could be a lot of work for them. So
Didn't Carrie say that a level cap increase was coming and that we've been due for one for a while? Like, I remember her having like a post and saying that we should expect a level cap increase, and we haven't had one, but we're pushing it off for a little while. And that was like 3 years ago. Like, I haven't heard anything since. Now, again, I'm not really as in the know as I used to be, because I used to actually get information directly from the developers, but so I could be, there could be stuff that they're saying on the forums that I'm missing, or something like that I'm missing. But from what I gather, what's happening now? Okay, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. It just looks like there was an issue on the stream over here, but it looks like it's fine. So, from what I gather, it just seems like basically there's a lack of new content, and really just a lack of big things to me, like raids. New events like territory battles, new tables. Like obviously adding ships is a new concept. That's new content. But I mean, why not double down on ships a little bit? I mean, maybe they're not making enough money off of that. I don't know, but I'm saying it's like, I mean, you have this aspect of the game. You built it, right? Like, so it exists. Like, there's nothing you could do about that, okay? I understand maybe you're going to hold off on the raid. Obviously, we all wanted some sort of ship element to be added to a raid. And maybe they're going to hold off on that, and that's fine, okay? But if they're going to hold off on the raid, then why not add, like, another layer of ship content? They revamped ships, changed it to 3v3 battles. They added more ships. Like, they've been adding more ships over the course of the last 2 years tremendously. Now we actually have a decent-sized ship roster. We've got how many fleet commanders do we have now? Like, how many capital ships do we have now?
8.
8 capital ships? So we've got... let's take a look here. Sorry, I'm...
GG, Kenobi, Akbar, Holdo, Hux, Thrawn, Mace, Tarkin. I think that's all. Yeah, that's 8.
8, yes.
That was a wild guess there.
So you're right. We have 8.
Yeah, but they still don't have enough ships to go with all the capital ships either, and they don't have enough of factions to go with or to synergize with those capital ships either.
No,
So
for sure.
we're still kind of short on the ship end of it.
For sure. But I'm saying, like, they now have enough where they could do stuff. Like, I understood at first, like, right, like, you're adding a whole nother avenue in this game. Like, you know, you've been building characters and that for years. So I understand that to build the infrastructure for ships, especially since you need a capital ship with a team, that's going to take a little bit of time. That makes sense. But now, now, I mean, it's been a long enough time, and they've added enough ship content that we could feasibly. I mean, even I think the average player has, like, you know, a decent amount of ships where they could put together, ships for an event. You know what I mean? So that there should be some added element of ship content. You have a whole nother table. I mean, like, look at all the real estate they added just for ships in general. I mean, there's a whole nother cantina just for ships. You could add stuff in here that, you know, like besides the fleet arena and the fleet battles, they could add another table in here that would, you know, create some new content. And maybe it wouldn't be exactly what we were looking for as far as new content is concerned. Okay, you know, of course we want new character content or a new raid or something like that. But for the time being, that would be really awesome. I would love to see like another, way to use ships, another reason to utilize these ships. Because I mean, we spend so much time farming them. We spend resources on them. You know, you level up characters that are ship captains. You know, you should have more use of those ships for sure. But
It'd be kind of interesting to do some sort of ship races.
that would be interesting. Ship races.
Yeah.
I could swear, and I mean, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but I mean, I think I have mentioned it before in the past, you know, so maybe I'm, you know, whatever. But I could swear when they brought us in once to take a look at ships, like early, right, that there was something like of ships moving across the screen. Like it was not just stationary ships. Like they showed us a clip of ships like hovering over the Death Star trenches. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was just scrapped and maybe that was just a trailer that they were showing us or whatnot. But, you know, we were actually looking at stuff like early on in the concepts that looked like the ships were actually going to move, you know? Now, obviously, they've changed ships tremendously since then. So now it's got the 3v3 or whatever. But ships, essentially, they decided to go with the same format as character versus character battles, just with ships. You know, they all stand stationary there. They have the capital ship next to them. And I think that the way they decided to do it worked out well. But I think that they also understood that that maybe they should have just doubled down on characters instead of going this other route, because now they have to expand on ships. Like, you can't just drop ships in the game and then leave that alone. Like, you now have to create ship raids and ship content and ship characters. And, you know, they've been doing a good job of adding more ships. I mean, like, there's a lot of new ships in the game. They've added the new Rebel ship, the new Sith ships, the new Empire ships. They've got stuff. It's just we don't really have any reason to use them other than TB, you know, or, you know, a couple of battles in GAC or TW. But it's really, you know, there's a missed opportunity there, I think. All right. So we don't think anything's coming in 2020. Fine. All right. But just let's go around the table. What do you think is the next thing besides the Galactic Challenges that is coming? Do you think it's going to... I mean, I'm not talking about characters. I mean, do you think it's going to be a new raid? Do you think it's going to be another version of TB? Or do you think it'll be something completely different that we've never seen before?
I think a new raid is feasible. Maybe. With that new season of Mandalorian coming out, maybe we get a legendary, like a Moff Gideon, kind of to go along with all these ridiculous Empire characters we have to farm for Sith Eternal Emperor. I don't know. That's probably that's what I would go with.
Yeah, definitely not a new TB, since, you know, everybody's kind of frustrated with the one we've got now, anyway, with the light side one. some sort of raid. I don't know. I don't know. They keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off to the point where I'm not sure if they're going to do it, they might do it within the next 6 months.
I think it's going to be a raid. I think it's going to be a raid, and I think that they've been still working on it, but they're just, they probably don't know exactly how they're going to handle it, so they've just been kind of pushing it off slowly. And I mean,
well, because I understand, it's funny how if they don't know how they're going to work it out and stuff, that's what, like, because I do stuff, and there's like storyboards, or there's just things, I'm trying to think, that will tell you exactly what it is you need to do. And, if they've been taking 3 years to develop a new raid, that's pretty bad, especially for a mobile game whose normal lifespan is about 5 years.
Well, what I'm worried about is this, right? If they already put any work into that, and then now they changed the game mode or the game engine to Unity, right, a few months back, does that mean they have to scrap all that work that they did in the past? Or does that mean that they just did no work on it, and now they're just, they're going to just start it from scratch with the new...
I think they've probably known that they were going to go to Unity for quite a while before they actually did. Because I know there was probably a lot of prep work in terms of that. So I have a feeling that was a major reason why they put off the raid, was because if they did the work on it, it may not work with or combine with the new Unity.
I actually know a little bit about the Unity Switch in general, not with Capital Games, but there's another game I play called Hollow Knight, and Hollow Knight is it's sort of like a Metroidvania style side scroller that has like, elements of like Dark Souls and kind of Legend of Zelda mixed together, where you're like this little bug character that goes and collects things, and you upgrade abilities. And, you kind of unravel the story as you sort of walk through this mysterious, like underground village that of Hollow Nest, right? And I absolutely love that game. But what happened was they were having trouble with expanding the game because the game is huge, right? Huge. I mean, I'm like 100 hours into that game. So what they did was they changed to Unity to be able to expand and add more content, because Unity allowed them to be able to do so many more things. So I know that Unity definitely is a great game engine, and it's worked great for games like Hollow Knight. So I was just hoping that they would do the same here. But I mean, honestly, given that they've made that change, and bear in mind, it is a little bit tough to really judge them on this because there was a pandemic this year. I'm sure they're restricted there in some ways as to how much they can work and what they can really accomplish because of the restrictions for COVID-19. So I'm sure there are some things that are holding them back there with that. But I mean, with adding the new game, I haven't seen them flex their muscles with this new game engine at all. Right? I mean, like, they were saying stuff like this would now increase our ability to make new events and increase our ability to make interesting puzzles and do different things. The graphics would be better, but I don't see any of that. I mean, yes, some characters are cool. Like I said, I think Kylo from the Galactic Legends looks really cool. I think they did a good job with with Jedi Master Luke and with Sith Eternal Emperor, but I don't know. I don't really see like an upgrade to any of the game mechanics or even to any of the events yet. And I would figure that if they just made a big change, like changing to Unity, like they would want to go and show us why this was such a big deal. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. They're just frustrating, is what they are. Oh, and did they get a new community manager too?
Yeah.
He's saying they were already using Unity, but this was just a new version of Unity. Okay, so why did they make it seem like they switched to Unity? That's weird.
That's what it appeared to me, was they were using something else and they switched to Unity. That's what I understood. They were using like some outdated old program or something.
I'm not a programmer. I don't know the first thing about switching over and like if they had to save and start from scratch and scrap everything. I really don't know. But I mean, the game's, it's got bugs and stuff, but it's not unplayable. You know what I mean? Like it has some bugs here and there, but I mean, it's always had miscellaneous bugs here and there. So they're just different now. I mean, I don't know. I haven't noticed a change really. I know the new characters look really good, like just in terms of detail, but I don't. That probably doesn't have anything to do with the engine itself. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, like all the new characters.
Well, I mean, the redo of Palpatine looks a little weird, I think.
So did Vader's. I didn't think Vader's little rework looked, you know, awesome or anything. I could have done without that one.
Vader's rework was okay.
No, the rework was good. I'm talking about the art.
The art. Yeah. The Palpatine looks awesome. The Palpatine looks awesome. I agree.
Oh, I think it looked awful.
You think it looks awful? I thought it looked great. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah. That's just the artist in me.
I mean, maybe you have better taste than me. I don't know. I mean, you know, if you think it sucks, then it probably does suck. But I mean, so they introduced a new community manager. So when I started playing this game, the community manager for this game was Jesse Anderson, and then he moved on to Anthem. Right, so he was the community manager for Anthem. This guy Doja Fett is the new community manager here. He looks very familiar. Like I feel like I've seen him before. I feel like maybe I've met him before.
Well, he looks like a character from one of those epic shows. Like all the shows have a character that looks like him.
Oh my God. Okay. Not according to the picture I saw.
Well, maybe you guys got different tastes.
I mean, you know, I can't listen. I don't know whether he's an attractive guy or not. I can't speak to whether a guy looks attractive or not. But he's not an ugly looking dude. I can say that. I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I have no problem saying that another guy is a handsome guy or whatnot. I can't say that they're attractive because again, attractive is kind of in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, you know, like to me, like I can look at somebody and say, okay, they're not ugly, right? Or even if I thought somebody was not like super good looking, I would never say that they were ugly. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, like I also couldn't say, because I think that there are girls out there that I find attractive that other men would not find attractive, and there are girls out there that I don't find attractive that other men may. Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, really.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are certain things that attract you to people, like, you know, like to me, like, you know, like there are certain things about, you know, like a face is an important thing to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sure that's for everybody, but I mean, you know, for me, like, I don't know, like, you know, I feel like if you have to have like something that really attracts you to that person's face if you're like if you're going to be with somebody like that, you know. Anyway, I don't know how we got into this topic of conversation. We're talking about a new community manager for Star Wars Galaxy Hero.
He kind of looks like Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, he does kind of look like Johnny Knoxville.
I'm looking at the picture. I could see it. I could see Johnny Knoxville. Yeah. Yeah. Johnny Knoxville looks completely different now. But I mean, maybe like a younger version of Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville looks like he's, you know, like he lives in that town from the movie Twister. And he's just been through all the Twisters for many years. I was talking about this with my friend the other day. Like, in what town in America You know, is there like 17 tornadoes in a 12-hour span? Where like they're like, all right, Joey, we're going down to Poughkeepsieville. There's gonna be another tornado in 13 minutes. I'll meet you down there. You know, they're just like rushing from one tornado to the next tornado, only to get slapped directly in the face with an F5 tornado at midnight the same night. You know, without, you know, like it's just like that town is either, you know, like just like, you know, like the Bermuda Triangle. Or it's like, you know, obviously it's a movie. I mean, you know, I get it, but I'm saying like that's insane. I mean, there's like literally 10 tornadoes that day in that like area that they somehow get to. You know, it's ridiculous how many tornadoes are going on in Twister. But
I don't know, I guess you guys don't get too many tornadoes in Long Island, huh?
we get 0 tornadoes. 0.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I've only seen one tornado in my life, okay, and it was actually when I was in Nebraska, okay. So I was driving cross country with a couple of my buds, very similarly to what I did this week with my other bud. He was actually with me on this trip. This was about 15 years ago, okay. So we were driving to California, and we were now on our way down south from North Dakota. We were going into Colorado. To go to Aspen, and during that time we drove through Nebraska. So we were driving down through Nebraska, and at night we could see this little, in the distance, we could see this little funnel coming out of the sky, right? And it was just like, wasn't touching down or anything like that. It was just like halfway down, you know, it was just like coming down. And I was like, that looks a lot like a funnel cloud. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, nah, you're crazy. That's just clouds. So as, you know, so the road, you know, we're like in this, like, you know, this field, you know, just driving, and the road starts to curve like directly towards the funnel cloud. And I'm like, guys, I really think that that's like a funnel cloud, you know? And then literally like a couple seconds later, it starts to rain. Then it starts to hail. And then it gets really windy, you know, to the point where it's like the car was like swaying back and forth. And like you can't even see the tornado anymore. Can't even see it. You know, I mean, it's just so much hail and rain and wind. Like, we couldn't see 2 feet in front of the car. Like, we had to stop because we could have driven right off the road. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to see which way you were going. Even with high beams, it was like we couldn't see a foot in front of the car. It was so intense. We turned around, and we were like, maybe we should just try to drive the other way. You know, and then we decided, like, we were already so far in that we might as well just drive through and hope to Christ that we make it, you know? And long story short, we ended up turning around like 3 times, and we couldn't see anything. And we ended up just parking the car and just sitting there in the car and waiting it out, and it passed. And eventually we saw it in the distance. I don't know if it ever touched down, but we did call our friend to ask him if he saw anything on the news, and he checked and he saw that there were tornado warnings in Nebraska. So there is a chance that it was a tornado that touched down, but all I saw was the funnel come out of the sky. That's it.
We've had a couple of tornadoes here in Washington, but I've been through lots of dust devils in Nevada. That'll spin your car around.
I can imagine. I mean, listen, I mean, I don't know if it was like a specific, like a tornado. I'm sure a tornado would have just lifted our car up in the air and spun it around, and then we would have had like 17 pieces of wood just fly through our bodies while we're like just getting peppered with pieces of like debris. You know what I mean? But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it was scary for sure. Because I mean, like where we come from, in New York, we don't have earthquakes, we don't have tornadoes. You know, we just seldom every like decade or so get hit really hard with a hurricane from Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like something that comes up from the south. We'll get hit a little bit on our beaches. But I mean, that's really only if you live like on the beach, like if you live on the shore. If you live inland, you know, you're probably fine. You know what I mean? Maybe your power will go out. But yeah, we don't really get tornadoes or anything like that. I mean, it's happened. Don't get me wrong. It has happened. And there have been tornadoes in New York, but it doesn't happen very often. Anyway, I digress. So, let's move on to the He said, missed my city, but tear through an adjacent city, Ray Rock. I almost saw one back in 2013 when one developed in November. Oh, that's crazy. Michael Yan said in Kansas City. Yes. Wells, N.R. Wilson, he reminds you of Urz's brother, Urz's older brother. I've never met Urz's older brother. I haven't seen him. I mean, Urz is a very nice guy. How about the Mace Windu rework, Mike Yench asked? Let that be our first question. So right now we're going to do the Q&A segment of the stream. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask, any topics you'd like to discuss, I know there's a few questions that have already been asked in the stream. So we'll get to those questions here in just a moment. Let's start off with... how do we get off from... Ray Rock asks, how do we go from talking about the game to talking about sex appeal? Well, let me tell you, okay? I will talk sometimes about random nonsense, and occasionally, which is pretty much every single time, I end up going off on another tangent in a direction where it gets really dark, and it becomes very difficult to come back to where we were before. So... I don't know what to say, but I know that we started off talking about a new community manager for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and then eventually we were talking about how sexually interested that Avinash was in him as a female. You know what I mean? So I don't know how we got there, but we got there. And apparently TMoney likes him too. So we'll see.
You did start the stream off with offering to show a slideshow.
I did, and I called you my mate and my love too. So
That's
I mean,
right. Hot tonight.
So tonight has been a real hot and steamy stream, guys. I mean, this is what I want. I want to bring compelling entertainment to you guys, and the best way to do that is to talk dirty to Maurice and Abby. Westbrook on the Knicks. Don't talk about the Knicks, okay? Don't talk about the Knicks. All right, the Knicks suck. They don't exist as far as I'm concerned. Westbrook coming to the Knicks will be just another disaster. Be Carmelo Anthony 2.0. Okay? Carmelo Anthony 2.0. All he's going to do is come to the Knicks. Maybe we'll win a couple more games than we should have. You know, he'll bring us to the playoffs as like an 8th seed, and then we'll get slapped in the face directly and eliminated by a team that's actually good, that doesn't have just one good player. You know? Westbrook is I don't think Westbrook is winning titles. Okay? Westbrook is a very... like solo player, okay? He's somebody who's very good. He's very talented. He's an amazing basketball player. Don't get me wrong. He's an MVP caliber talent, okay? However, some players are just not meant to be team players, and I feel like he's one of them. That's just my opinion. At least the Giants finally won. Yes, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Let's keep our fingers crossed. They could win one more game and actually be in first place in the NFC East. The season's not over, guys. The season is not over. If you're either a Washington Redskins fan, a Cowboys fan, a Giants fan, or an Eagles fan, anything can happen right now. Okay? So just keep your heart in the right place, but also be realistic, because even if they make the playoffs, none of those teams is winning. Okay? Unless they get a miracle run. Okay, we're talking about like an Eli Manning 2007 situation where you just hope to Christ. All right. No dirty talk to Ranger, just Abby and Gom. I'll talk dirty to Ranger, but Ranger is not here to do that. Ranger's busy organizing his sock drawer right now, and he's just making sure that his computer runs efficiently. He's doing like a reboot. Now I think he's stuff probably for the stream. I mean, I'm sure Ranger is doing something important. Lions and Washington football team fan, the season is over for them. Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't hear nothing.
We dropped again for a second. It's back now. Okay. So we're back now. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what it is with the stream. Periodically, it just likes to... I went all the way up to South Chicago, 150 miles later. Okay, so... I don't know if he has an older brother. It was just a joke. He looks really similar. Oh, you're saying that guy could be Urzatron's older brother. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I get it now. All right, so let's go with the question that Mike Yench had. He said, "What about a Mace Windu rework?" I mean, I know we've discussed this topic probably endless times on this stream.
A zillion times.
But
I have a feeling they're not going to do any reworks whatsoever. I think what they're going to do is bring in new characters to give these old characters buffs and abilities, so they don't have to actually do physical reworks for everybody.
yeah. I mean,
I think it gives you rework for Mace Windu.
I feel like they had a window in which they could have done the Mace Windu rework when they were doing the Clone Wars content earlier this year. And they really should have done it then. I mean, it should have been done. The only thought process I can have is that they're saving it, right? And there's a reason for it. They have reworked Mace several times already, and they failed every single time. So it's not like they haven't touched him up before. I mean, they touched him a long time ago. And when I mean touched, I do mean sexually, okay? But when they touched him, they gave him the ability to, like, expose a random enemy. And the problem is that the AI doesn't do the right thing. So even if you run Mace on defense, he doesn't even attack the guy you expose. Not that that mechanic would do any good in today's day and age, because the game has advanced tremendously since then. But I'm just saying that even that mechanic then didn't work, because Mace wouldn't attack the guy he exposed. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's like, yeah, Mace just sucks, and they've never done anything that makes him good. The only thing they ever did was they made him good in, what was it, TB or TW? Was it TB? Or TW?
Yeah.
I think they gave him a buff in TB once, or TW once, and then that was it. They should make that the permanent Mace Windu, because that's how good he should be, to be honest with you. Mace Windu is a legendary Jedi. He should be good. Do we have any more questions, Maurice?
I don't think so. I looked through a few minutes ago, but I didn't see too many. Just we had like a couple of them.
Here's Vormax. So Vormax says, do you guys feel like it's time for CG to release a couple of ships? I mean, I feel like they've released enough. I mean, I think they could release more ships for certain factions, for sure. Like, I mean, like, we could see new ships for Sith, for First Order. I think we have enough Rebel ships. I think we have enough Empire ships. But they probably need more Empire ships and Rebel ships, or really more Empire ships, just to deal with the fact that they have 2 Empire capital ships, right?
Yeah.
So you have 2 Empire capital ships. You have 1 Galactic Republic capital ship. You have a Rebel capital ship. You have a First Order capital ship. A Resistance capital ship. There's only 1 Rebel capital ship, right? Only a home 1.
Yeah.
Right. So that, yeah, I mean, like, they could definitely do more Empire ships. I think they could do that. But you know, I think what they need to do more than release new ships is release content for ships. Because, I mean, what's the point of adding more ships if all you're going to use them for is a periodic battle in GAC or TW? And, yeah, like, you know, just to get wiped out in TB with them. It doesn't make any sense. I just think it's you know, again, it's the same old with ships. Like, they invested in it, they put it out, and there was not enough content for it. Then they revamped it, invested in it again, and now there's still not enough content for it, which doesn't make any sense because they actually returned to try to fix their mistake, and now they left it back again as like some where they're still periodically dropping new ships, but it's like there's no content. So I mean, like, why buy the ships? Like, I mean, like, at least give me a reason to spend on the ships. And honestly, most of the cool ships that you would want in this game, like the Millennium Falcon, the only ship that I would still want in this game that's not in the game right now, not the only one, but the main one would be Luke's X-Wing. I mean, that's really it. Other than that, we have Anakin's Starfighter. We have, you know, the Millennium Falcon. We've got the Ebon Hawk. We've got all the cool ships, I mean, in the game already. You know, they just need to release content so we can use these ships. You know, maybe add some tiers to leveling these ships, add new abilities for the ships, do something like that. You know, maybe add some events where you have ultimate abilities for the ships, kind of like not ultimate abilities for the ships, but I mean like abilities for the ships like you have for TB, where you can, you know, they add like an extra tab for the event that makes it interesting. You know, I don't know. It's just a thought process. Are there any ships that add another ability? That does Thrawn's ship does that, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
What do you mean?
Are there any ships, capital ships that that add an extra thing, kind of like? Now they all do. It's the way ships works is differently, so that doesn't matter. You know what I'm thinking is like, you know how like leader abilities sometimes add, like, you know, if you use Thrawn leader, you get like an extra ability for all your characters.
Yeah, not yet. I don't think so yet.
They should do something like that for capital ships, where like your characters get extra abilities when you use that capital ship. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be kind of cool, actually.
Maybe.
You know, maybe if you use it, maybe if you use like that, maybe if you use like the finalizer, since the freaking ultimate sucks for the finalizer, you can use like the ability to pass like your term meter to another character. You know, maybe that's just one of the abilities that the ship has. I'm just spitballing here, but yeah, maybe instead of using an ability for that character, you have the option to just swap term meter with another character, and you can use that character. You know, that'd be kind of cool. You know, but
I can see that happening because I mean the mechanics there for the characters, they just have to converge the ships.
Their MO.
That do it now.
Abner says their MO says level up your ships for the new JC requirements so we can introduce new ships needed for the new raid. Yeah. I don't see. Let me see. There was another question like way earlier. Let me see. Where is that one?
You know, that's a good point actually. Maybe they're just slipping in these 2 grand arenas to kind of encourage people to do ships, so when the ship raid comes, it's not a huge shock, and the people in Division 1 and Division 2 are more than likely going to be in the guilds that have a chance to complete the raid. You know, so
Right.
That makes sense.
I can see that. They've done that before. And that's one thing they don't really get credit for. There's a lot of times they push us in the right direction without us really knowing that it's the right direction, if that makes any sense. Like they kind of prepare us sometimes, not all the time, but every once in a while they'll prepare you without you really knowing for like the future of like the content and stuff.
Like you were prepared for Luke?
Well, that was yes, but I feel like that was a little more accidental. Something more like I don't know, like they make you get Phoenix for Thrawn. And then all of a sudden they're in the territory battle, even though it doesn't make any sense for them to be there. You know what I mean? Like
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. There's another question here. Billy Gunn asks the best way to mod Jedi Master Luke, set specifically health, speed, or defense.
Well, that's kind of what I'm testing now. Right now, I got a speed set on him, a real protection heavy speed set. The faster he goes, and I don't even have the ultimate. I just like him going a lot. Probably not the best because I am sacrificing a good bit of the true damage with the protection and some of the durability. I guess a lot depends if you run them with water or not. I see a lot of people run like a Basla or Jedi Revan lead, and then just kind of have Luke as the tank, and then use Watt to keep the taunt on him. Or if you're just like using his leadership, I like his leadership. And plus, he's new. I want to use his leadership. It might not be the best team. Maybe Bastler or Jedi Revan. Maybe they are the best lead for him, but I mean, I haven't used those leads for years. You know, I got a new toy. I want to play with the toy. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. We got a donation from SWGOH84. Thank you so much. He says, keep a great show, Ramon. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's really nice.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And yes, do hit the like button. How did the Braves do tonight? Does anybody know?
I think they blew it. I think they blew it pretty badly. Series, not just tonight, but just yikes.
Yeah, that sucks. Let's see here. I think I think that's it. I talked about my trip. Yeah, I don't see any other questions. If I missed any questions, I apologize, guys. But I think I got everything. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask, you could type them into the Discord channel as well. There's a link in the description to my Discord. You can go there and type them in there, and we'll ask them on the stream next week as well. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. What's going on with Operation Metaverse this week, Maurice?
We did 3 workshops the past couple weeks. Today we did one on the mods and the new mods, and basically just a workshop for like the stat rolls and what you guys want to look for. We just finished that. Today we got a stream on Thursday. We got a couple pretty big things coming down the pipe. I might start fooling around with Twitch a little bit. So all sorts of stuff going on. Kind of our schedules are kind of freeing up. We're getting kind of more settled in.
Okay.
Current schedule, so maybe we might revamp the channel a little bit. Might start making a few more videos and stuff, because that's something like before the stream we were talking about just how it's difficult to make videos. Sometimes. Yeah, it's been very difficult for us to kind of coordinate. So,
I would like to do something like a little bit of a different format for this show, and I would also like to do some more other types of shows. Like I still would like. I think that there is, I would like to do a show where I have fun just kind of talking about random topics sometimes, and as much as I love talking about Galaxy of Heroes, I would also like to maybe have a show that it just talks about random topics where, I mean, obviously if somebody wants to come and talk about Galaxy of Heroes, we'll have a show for that. But then a separate show where I can just talk about random things, and, we're not really, going off on a random tangent, because the whole show's about going off on a random tangent. So, I mean, like that would be kind of cool, But, I just have to think of a good format for that. I thought about doing like current events and having like a ticker go down on the side, kind of like part of the like PTI. I've thought about different things like that, but I don't know. I have to think about the best way to do that. So maybe we'll do like just a whole Q&A stream, or we'll have a few random topics and then we'll just kind of go from there. But for those of you that like hearing me just rant, this would be a cool show. What about you, Abby? What's going on with Boba's this week?
We're going to have our Boba's podcast roundtable tomorrow night. So, and we'll be recording that. And then I'm just doing some YouTube videos of the territory battles and some arena stuff and some TW stuff that I don't share publicly, but
okay,
trying to increase that a little bit. So other than that, it's going to be kind of a slow week, I think.
All right. Well, she has been adding more content to the Boba's Alliance podcast channel, so definitely make sure to go check that out. There's a link in the description for Operation Metaverse and Boba's Alliance. Also, of course, make sure to go check out Ranger Infinity's live show on Wednesday night. Longest running live show in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The Reality Skewed Gamers link is also in the description. If you watch Twitch, you can also go check out Master Kylo. He has a Twitch channel over there too. Give him your support. McFly says, don't let yourself be only tied to SWGOH. I agree 100%. And again, I'm not saying that I don't want to make content for SWGOH. I love the game. I love talking Star Wars. I'm not going to stop that ever. But I want to, just also adapt and have some new things that I do. And I think that, we could figure out some way to kind of do a little bit of both, So I'm looking into it, and I think it would make the channel more interesting, So it's not just like I feel like I have to talk about the game, I would like to have some other stuff, because I enjoy just kind of sitting down and talking with you guys. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna be back next week with some more show. There was a new character that came out for Power Rangers, this pumpkin character, but I didn't buy him because it just looked so shitty. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. I mean, it's a Halloween themed character. I get it, but no,
Yeah.
I didn't want it. So, but all right, we'll be back next Sunday. Otherwise, definitely make sure to check out all the great channels. You know, like I said, Reality Skewed Gamers, Operation Metaverse, Boba's Alliance channel. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. I really appreciate all the support, all the chat. And thank you again, SDJoe84, for your donation. And we'll be back on the next one. I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. And may the force be with you guys. We'll see you then. Take care. Have a good night, everybody. Bye. Later, Megatron.